Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live on Neevesknives. How's everybody doing tonight? We have a bunch of cool topics to talk about. Let's see, we have a bunch of people in here. What's up? Mike Emler's in here. Breeze is in here. James Reese, Byron, Chad. How's everybody doing? Oh, sorry. I always do that. So we got some cool topics to talk about tonight. How many people are in here? Don't forget to drop a like on your way in. So what's everybody carrying? Let's start off with that. While people are jumping in here right now, I actually have the Civivi Cogent, which we're going to talk about this. I like it a lot. It is having one little issue we're going to talk about. We'll talk about it here in a second when some people come in here. But that's what I have in my pocket. That's all I have on me right now. I don't have anything else in my pockets right now besides my jewels. Damn it, I forgot my other stuff over there. But that's what I'm carrying right now. I was carrying earlier. I actually carried this Citizen for a little while today. Man, these things are so good. They gotta be being made by the same company that makes Ganzo, or Ganzo makes them. Now, we're going to talk about here in a second a little trick and I was talking to somebody else about it on Instagram, but basically a way you can kind of tell if your steel on your knife is soft or if it has a good heat treat, or if it's on the harder side of the heat treat of the HRC. You know, whether you're going to use that information maybe to decide what type of edge you're going to put on it, or, you know, for whatever reason. But it's a good way it's something I like to do, in a good way I can kind of decide how I'm going to go about sharpening it and what type of edge I might want to put on it, so on and so forth. Brian's got the QSP Penguin, awesome knife. A lot of people were saying this Citizen was just like the Penguin, or reminded them of the Penguin. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. The blade shape for sure does. It is a little bit longer, but yeah, a lot of similarities. Both are good quality too. What Kizer is that, James? The Shredder. That's one I never tried. I never tried the Shredder, but that was one of the ones I was kind of talking about when I was speaking about the Picaro. I'm giving it a test run. Giving what? The Olight sent me the Beagle. Oh, yeah. The Olight Beagle. Awesome. Nice. That, those little parrots I found out have multi-row bearings, Cue Ball told me. That's crazy. No wonder why they're so smooth. Stern's rocking a titanium Penguin. Sweet. Kevin's got the PM2 with a Maximet. That Cogent is one nice knife. Yes, it is. And you know, the problem that I'm having isn't that big of a deal. I set up a new number for the channel so that folks can contact me for sharpening. I'll let you know what it is. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Kara's kind of talking me into possibly setting up a new email. She's already set it up. You know, I'm not, man, it's going to be tough for me to use two emails. Well, to check two. Hey, shut up back there. But yeah, if I do that, that means one will be just for the channel, and then the other one will be like for other contacts or something. Let me get down. Karen, the Para 3 Rex 45 Stormtrooper exclusive from GP Knives, and the EMP EDC Tonto. Sweet. Hell yeah. Both are great knives. Breeze has got a Beagle too. Damn, everybody's got them Beagles. Jason Brown has a brass Main Street. I didn't even know they made a brass Main Street. That's awesome. Those Main Streets are pretty sweet. Blaze has got a Panchenko Production EDC. What's up, Q-Ball? Stretch 2 K390. That's a good one. That's a real good one. I had the stretch in VG10. That's a good knife. That's a really good knife. Kizer's attempt at an XM24 style knife. What knife is that? I can't think of what knife you're talking about. Gotta run. Daughter is FaceTiming me from Japan. Yeah, go take care of your daughter, brother. Go and sub to Mike Emler's channel if you're not already. Hi, Jared. Best wishes for you all the way from Malaysia. Nice, nice. Well, shout out to Malaysia. Deacon's got the whippersnapper. We're actually going to talk a little bit about a whippersnapper here in a minute. We're going to talk about a new one I seen on Knife Nerdery, which is a bolster lock whippersnapper. Mike Emler's got 4 email addresses. No wonder why he never gets back to me on email. I'm joking. I got the Sea Snake OG Bug Out Kershaw Lincoln 20 CV. Nice, nice. Hi guys, back in the place. What's up, Pierre? O-Knife Drever was in the pocket today. Sweet, sweet. That they did a good job on that. I mean, Kizer, you know, which we're actually going to talk about them too. We're going to talk about a complaint that I keep on hearing around the community. Who is running? Right, who you running from with your 4 email addresses, Mike? Who you trying to hide from? Yes, definitely hit the like button. The Main Street was a gift from Winchester. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Got an Ader raid. Originated blood within this and such a sweet hardened design. What's up, John Evans? Okay, so I'm gonna kind of hang out with you guys in this one. I do have some topics I want to talk about, but I didn't write down a ton. I kind of felt like it was one of those lives where we should kind of just hang out and talk about what you guys want to talk about. Off-grid Scorpion. Awesome. Them off-grid knives, man. They're damn good. They did. Yeah. I mean, I know it's Best Tech and Weave, but man, damn good job. Obviously, I mean, by those companies always do a good job. Any idea what a good cheap carbide knife would be? Any idea what a good cheap carbide knife would be? I don't know. What do you mean a carbide knife? You mean an all carbide blade? All right, so I'm going to address a comment that I've gotten a few too many times, which I know most of the people in here will laugh about it with me because they understand too. So it's not like I'm coming at anybody or anything. It's just, it's laughable, right? So somebody's left me this comment a few times and they say that basically that, and I know you guys can probably relate, and they're not trying to say that no knife isn't worth over $50. But what they're trying to say is that no company should charge you more than $50, right? That the company's ripping you off if they're charging you more than $50. And they're saying, like, because even M390, they get for like $5, right? That's basically their argument. Let's say that's true, which it's not, but let's just say it's true. Let's just say it's $5, right? The blade that they got on for M390 on their knife, let's say it's true. Well, that's a blank piece of metal. You still have to grind it, right? So how much money is it going to cost for you to have somebody grind it? Okay. Then how much is it going to cost for the abrasives that you use to grind it? We're just talking about the blade right now. Now, say if, the milling, right? The heat treat, right? Go down the line of all those things, right? Now, how much does that $5 piece of steel wind up being? And I thought it was hilarious with this guy because he left it on multiple different videos, and basically making it seem like companies are ripping you off if they're charging you more than $50 for an M390 knife. And I'm thinking in my head, like, Where do you get M390 for under 50 bucks? That's in a knife. That's in a knife, cut, heat treated, and everything. And if you try to tell me some no-name company that's selling you 440C and writing M390 on it, or maybe they are selling you M390 that's as soft as, you guys know, as soft as that. I mean, come on. Let's be real. But I thought it was, I think it's hilarious that because people don't seem to consider, it doesn't matter what they can get materials for. Let's say they can get all the materials in this knife for $5. That still doesn't mean, like, that doesn't count for the machine work, all the, putting it together, the assembly, the, just everything, like putting all that into play. Like, people, it's mind blowing to me. Time is money. Exactly. Time is money, because, saying that, it's like, okay, let's just say it's the heat treat is done. Let's say the heat treat is done. The machine milled it. Now, how much is it going to cost for you? And I want to almost ask them, you in particular, to grind that knife, right? How much would it charge for? How much could I pay you to grind that knife, right? Let's say, and I don't know how long it's going to take you. Let's say you mess up on one, you have to redo it. How much is it going to cost you? And then you got to put an edge on it now too. How much is that going to cost to get you to do that? It's crazy. What's up, Mom? I'd still like, awesome. Thank you. I'd still like a name of a knife I could buy. Can't find anything easy. I don't understand what you're looking for. I'll give you 100 names of knives. I don't understand what you're looking for. How much money you got? Give me a price and I'll give you a name of a knife. I'll name you 5 knives if you give me a price. Give me a price range. And a size. I want to know size and price range. So give me a length. 3-inch blade, 3.5-inch blade, $50, $100, $20. What do you got? Manufacturing, stocking, inventory, shipping, labor. Let's not forget, most retailers aren't charging MAP out the gate. Instead, they're charging closer to MSRP. 3-inch blade. Okay, 3-inch blade. A good carbide blade knife, $200. I mean, if you want a high carbide steel, otherwise you have to get, I only know one knife that's like a carbide blade, but if you want like a high carbide steel, go with the Spyderco Manix 2 with S110V. Bang. Spyderco Manix 2 S110V, and it's USA made, and they don't do a bad job on the heat treat. There seems to be a lot of hard to get knives dropping now before Christmas, always, every year. That's why you want to kind of, yes, there we go. That I was trying to remember the name, John Evans. So the Sandra Knives Torino is a carbide blade. I actually have one sitting right over here. I didn't want to have to get up and grab it, but I was going to have to if he meant like an all carbide blade. Most people aren't looking for an all carbide blade, but there you go. Yeah, the Sandra Knives Torino. I think it's $200 exactly, and it's a carbide blade, and they are very sharp out of the box. MSRP can be painful depending on the knife. Thank you, K. Mason. I've seen the Sandrin, but not on Amazon anymore. Yeah, you might have to just Google it and look around. I'm not sure exactly where you can get one right at the moment. I know they actually have one in carbon fiber too now, but yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who has them available at the moment. You might want to look at Smoky Mountain, Knife Center, Blade HQ. Yeah, I would check those places first. Smoky Mountain Knife Works, Blade HQ, and Knife Center. Check those places first. Did you ever dye the micarta on your Civivi riffle? Interested in checking that out? No, I don't think I will. I don't know if I said I might. I know I'm not a big fan of that color. I'm maybe in the future. Anything that I'm planning on doing mod works to any knives, I'm going to wait till after the new year. I just have so much shit backed up right now that, like, with videos and stuff that I have to do. That reminds me. Okay, so I know I promised you guys that work sharp video, but I had to put it on the back burner for a couple days. There was an issue. Well, not really an issue. There's a new part. Okay, there's a new part, and it's coming. And I did not want to do the video without being able to present this part to you guys. So I held it off, and now as soon as I get the part, I'm gonna record that part of the video and upload it, because that way you guys, I might even just refilm the whole thing, because that way you guys could see all the best parts for the work sharp precision guided system with all the attachments that make it amazing. What's up, Knife Sergeant? Go and subscribe to Knife Sergeant's channel. Oh, right here. Jason Brown said the Sandrin Torino is $220 on Knife Center. I know it's a little bit over your budget, but it's only $20 over your budget. Jason. My mom says, hello, everyone. Hello to everyone else that I may have missed. I just posted. There is one Tucson TS 267 on eBay that bids close in a day. Jared said #1 underrated today. Listen, I have a link. You don't even have to bid on it, man. For $95, I put a link inside that video. Check the link in the video. I put a link for it from Amazon. You're going to have to wait the same amount of time, but you're not going to have to wait for the bidding. So it'll ship right away, and you'll get it, in a couple weeks. But you can just buy it outright. No bidding, no nothing. That little 2D printed ATM brace is a must for the workshop. Yeah, I got that. And I got a whole system that connects it to a table. I got parts for scissors, all kinds of attachments. Even the new thing that's coming is a stone holder that lets you. I'm sorry, guys, this thing's in my face. Somebody's probably going nuts. Like, why doesn't he get that thing out of his face? Sorry, I was just screaming in it too. But anyways, it's a stone holder that lets you have the ability to hold a 4-inch or a 6-inch stone. Normally, I don't recommend the 6-inch stones because it's hard. You can't use the whole stone with the device. The rods aren't long enough. However, a lot of times the 4-inch stones are out. You can't get them because, they're all bought up. But you can almost always get the 6-inch stones. So you can get the 6-inch stones, and it's not going to be that big of a deal difference. You're just not going to be able to use the whole thing. So every once in a while, you might want to flip it or something, but big deal, right? At least you'll still get the same quality of edge. You'll still be able to use 4 inches of it. You just won't be able to use the last 2 inches or so. Damn, I really mistyped it that bad. I must be tired. Okay, so let me ask you guys this. Never mind. I'll keep it to myself. All right, so I did wind up getting my Ferrum Forge Archbishop 3.0, thanks to somebody in the community for bringing it to my attention. It is absolutely amazing. I got the all stone-washed version. Very smooth, fresh out of the box. Now, I've sharpened one of these. I felt 3 of them so far. They all feel really good. I'll say this though, none of them had really a great edge. Kind of surprising, right? I'm not sure what company did, if Ferrum Forge did the edges or if Wee's the one building them, right? If Wee's the one building the parts, but I'm not sure. I'm guessing that this is one where they send all the parts to Ferrum Forge and Ferrum Forge assembles them. That's what I'm guessing. That has to be it. So they probably did the edges. I'm not sure though, but the edges could be better on them, and that's why I probably, get them in right away for sharpening. It's to antimatter. Okay. I was kind of wondering, and last time I'll post this, kind of proud of it. What's that? What's up, Rob? I saw Stacy in the chat earlier too. Was glad to see she was good. In Tennessee came out good in my area, just no power. So I was kind of wondering why we don't see any micarta made out of leather, right? And maybe right now people are like, why are you that dumb? Like, it's not this, right? Whatever. Like, maybe it absorbs too much. Maybe there's a reason why. But I couldn't help but think, like, man, some leather micarta would be badass. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was thinking, like, what don't we have in micarta yet? We have paper micarta, we have denim micarta, we have everything made out, into micarta, but I can't think of leather micarta. What's up, Wayne? Jared, you have 3 of them there at the moment? What are you talking about? 3? Oh, 3. Yes, I have 3 of these here right now. Yeah, I have 3. Yes, I have 3 Ferrum Forges here. Leather micarta, maybe not though, because the and I'm talking to Jason. He says it may be mushy. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. I imagine that the resin that you make it with would just make it hard, like kind of like it does with everything else. Like, you would think denim would be mushy too, but it's nice and soft. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking. I'm not saying it's a smart idea. Well, no, they would take strips of it and they would layer it together, and then so the way I imagine it is that they would layer it, put the resin on, and then bond it and smash it all together. Then after it dries, take it out and sand down the surface just like they do regular micarta, and it would expose a hard layer of leather. So the leather wouldn't be soft no more. I mean, it would be soft to the touch like this, but it wouldn't be soft like touching it like this. It'd be hard like micarta, except for the surface, like just like micarta. You know how like denim micarta is kind of like that. I feel like there's a reason why leather micarta isn't a thing. Thickness, chemical reaction, and stuff. I probably can't even think. Maybe, or maybe I just never mentioned it. Maybe they just weren't bright enough to think of it, like old Neevesknives. We might have something here. Not porous enough for the resin to say. I thought of that. But then I thought there's got to be a way, right? Like, kind of like taking all the oxygen, like doing it. You can maybe do it in a I've seen things done like this where they put it in a one of those containers where it takes all the air out of the box and it quickly makes the thing absorb whatever the material is. It basically rushes that process. It's a thought. It might work. See, he's on my side. Somebody's on my damn side. What about stacked leather? Right. Cable, yeah, well, kind of like that, but think about stacked leather micarta. That would be dope. Yeah, you could grind it up too. Yeah, you could grind it up and do it like that. You could do stacked. There'd probably be 100 different ways you could do it with leather if you really think about it. Air vacuum. Yes, you could air vacuum it. I'm telling you, pressure pot. Yeah. Vacuum and pressure, shred it. Yeah, you can do so many different things. Jared, I am telling you, launch a hemp micarta line. So that's what whatchamacallit did. I don't think it came out too good, to be honest. But I didn't do it, so maybe if other people had tried and there was like lots of time put into trying to do it. Checking in from Wisconsin Dells. You're in Wisconsin Dells? Talca's in the Dells. I love the Dells. I've been to the Dells so many damn times. I've been to the Dells probably 50 times. one month or one summer, I went there like 30 times in one summer. We were just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Good times, good times. Today I found my Kershaw Blur and S30V. It's been missing for about 3 years. Holy shit. Good for you. If they can do paper, they can do hemp. Yeah, they can do hemp. I know they can do hemp. Stacy's back. What's up, Stacy? Knife Tribe? Knife Tribe. So, to the Patreons that are in here or that watch later, I got the knife. I talked to Richie B, Knife Modders, the giveaway knife, the custom knife that's going to be given to you guys. I'm sending it to him to carbidize the lock face, and then we're going to give it away. So just so you guys know, I'll wind up doing 2 giveaways since that one's a little late. You know, not a big deal. You know, we're a little late, so we'll just do 2 giveaways in one, and somebody will win the custom and somebody will win something else. We'll probably do something else really nice since it's Christmas time. So just so you guys know that it'll be even better when you guys get it. So it's a good thing. It's not, I'm not giving it away with lockstick. So that way you guys will get it and it will be very, very nice. Surviving better than many close to my home. Well, I'm glad to hear that and sad at the same time, Stacy. Hemp scales would be great for wet conditions. Our founding fathers used to grow hemp for rope to be used on ships. Yep, absolutely. For sure. For sure. But once you make it into a micarta anyways, it should be weatherproof for the most part. Patreon, are people special if they are Patreon members for only $3? I can be special. Yes, Breeze. Yes. You can even be even more special. You'll be my cousin and my Patreon cousin. That alien knife had the coffee grinds composite. Ended up getting that mini Gemini. It's pretty sweet carbon fiber, much nicer than the shiny stuff. You know, you got lucky because other people were telling me it sold out like that. So good for you. You were one of the winners. But yeah, that's a solid little knife, man. Good little knife. Yeah, hemp smells bad when it's wet, but if it's in resin, I don't think it'd be bad. It's kind of sad the only knife I know right now I really want for 22 is yet another native. Boring. I know. There's going to be a Magna Cut. It's a salt. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, sometimes you go through your little modes, right? Where, you know, sometimes you want to try material, sometimes you want a different steel, sometimes it's the type of lock. You know, I go through those phases too where it's like, man, I really want some 4V, or I really, really want to try some Magna Cut or whatever. Is Civivi Damascus worth it? Yes, I would say they're the best Damascus next to Damasteel. It's actually very similar to Damasteel. So Damasteel is RWL 34 mixed with a couple other steels that you know work with it very well. Cue ball. Please keep this affected by last night's tornado in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you, Cue ball. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, that sucks, man. Tornadoes, they definitely wreak havoc. And thank you for the donation. Yeah, keep everybody in your prayers, everybody. But the Damascus, though, theirs is a 9CR powdered Damascus. But that's the same way the RWL 34 is, or Damasteel. Sorry, Damasteel is a powdered stainless steel Damascus. And the reason why it's so good is because it's a powdered steel. So instead of it being a bunch of different steels melted together, it's a bunch of powdered steels melted into one billet. So since it's one billet, it's basically one solid steel, even though when you do etch it, you'll get the pattern of the Damascus, and that's why it's a better quality. It's tougher because real Damascus, one of the issues with it is the different steels coming apart and it heat treating a little differently. When you're sharpening it, some of the steels will sharpen up a little differently because there's different steels inside the one blade. Well, with Civivi's, it's similar. It's a lot like Damasteel. It's just a powdered 9CR, and they use So I think I'm not sure the other steel they use. I think it's like a 440C or something, but it's like a powdered version of that, and they make it in one billet, and it's very similar to Damascus steel, and it sharpens up really good. It holds a really good edge. So yeah, I mean it's really good. You get definitely better edge retention than the 9CR. I believe I even seen a test that proved it. My issue is I'm too picky, I guess. When I see a knife I like, it's sold out. That happens to the best of us, brother. The best of us. What you want to do is get on the mailing list. I tell everybody. Everybody bitches when they miss out on a knife. And I get it. I was that guy too, where every time like I seen a knife I really wanted, I'd go to get it and it was sold out. But then I got smart. I got smart and I started paying attention. Not paying attention to, because you don't know when a knife's going to come, right? But what you can do is you can pay attention, one, to the knife companies on Instagram, or you can watch the like the Smoky Mountain Knife Works, Blade HQ. You can watch their things and they show you when things are coming. And then you can get on the email list. You can get on the email list. They'll tell you things that are coming and stuff like that. So you get on the email list. So right when it shows, you already got it. That's it. I'm throwing my phone in the pool. Don't do that, cue ball. Don't do that. Settle down. Is this kind of Civivi? Is this kind of Civivi Damascus cosmetic of what? What? I don't get that. If you're talking about the Damascus, it's real Damascus. It's a powdered Damascus, the best kind of Damascus you can ask for, next to like Damascus steel, and it's very similar. Okay, so what the hell? My email list crap never works. It always tells me late. That's because you check your emails late, Talica. That's why, because you're late checking your emails. Get on the text message. That's a better way. If you really want to get to it quick, get on the text messaging list. What's up, Jared White? All right, so we'll come back to some of these things. So I want to talk about really quick, and I'm not going to get too deep into sharpening or anything like that. I see there's 90 people in here, but I want to talk about how you can test your steel on your knife to see if it's soft or if it's hard. And we can talk about a bunch of knives after that. There's actually a few knives I want to talk about, and I'll pull out some knives if you guys want me to. But so why would you, first of all, want to know whether or not you have a hard HRC or a soft HRC on your steel? So first of all, the heat treating HRC is basically just the HRC is the hardness of your steel, right? So when heat treated, they can heat treat it softer or they can heat treat it harder. We are usually looking for a harder HRC for pocket knives. The reason why is because the harder it is, the longer your edge will last. And in a lot of cases, it'll be easier to sharpen, easier to maintain and hone. Now, why would you want to know whether or not it's soft or hard? Well, you might want to know because you might be wondering what kind of edge you should put on it, or how hard you can be on it. Lots of different things, right? What to expect out of it, so on and so forth. A lot of times people wonder, like, what kind of edge should I put on this? Like they'll ask, like, how does so-and-so do their blank steel, right? How does so-and-so do their VG10, or how does so-and-so do their 154 CM or whatever? Well, one little way you can kind of check is, and you do have to have a little bit of knowledge on sharpening a little bit to do this, but if you have a system, you can do it with a system. So you sharpen one side of the edge, right? So you get an edge bevel. If you have a work sharp or you have a sharpening system, you can do it with the sharpening system. So sharpen one side of the edge, flip it over, do the other edge, the other side of the edge. So now you've had a burr on both sides, and now the burr is back on the opposite side, right? So you've sharpened this side, you flipped it over, You sharpen this side. Now the burr is on the opposite side. On this side, right? Now you can feel the burr. The burr is on the edge. So what you do is you try to knock that burr off. So you can take the same stone if you have a fixed angled system, and you can do a single pass on it. And see, now it's not just going to most likely just fall off, but let's say it does. If it does, well, you got a really hard heat treat, but it's most likely not going to be that easy. But you can do a single pass, flip it over, do another pass, and flip it over, do another pass. Now, what you're looking for is you're trying to see how easily that burr gets knocked off. If the burr just goes like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you got a soft heat treat. It's softer. If the burr goes bend, bend, snaps off, well, then you got a hard heat treat. If it, like if it goes back and forth, then snaps off, you got a mid-range one, right? If it goes back and forth, think about even like a paper clip, right? How many times can you bend a paper clip, before it'll snap off? Not too many times, and that's really soft steel. So just think about it like that. Like if you have the burr, that's a lot of times when you're sharpening, you can tell a lot about the heat treat just by the burr, how easily the burr gets removed. Like sometimes I've literally had it where I'm sharpening and the entire burr comes off in a wire. Now, you can do the same thing with a ceramic, but a ceramic stone or a ceramic rod, yes, fatigue failure. You're basically fatiguing it until it fails. But you can do it with a ceramic rod, but you want to be a little more gentle with it, because it does kind of depend. But if you're using a ceramic rod because you're doing it freehand, well, just know the ceramic is going to most likely rip some of it off anyways. But you can definitely test it with a ceramic rod too. Just do it nice and gentle. And you'll see, like if it folds over to the other side and some of it falls completely off, well, you probably got a pretty good heat treat on there. And then you can kind of justify of whether or not you want to lay back your angle really far, whether or not you want to go to a high polish, whether or not you want to put a low angle on it, because say if it's softer. Right? Say if it's softer, you might not want to lay it back too far, because you'll most likely roll your edge after you start using it, depending on how hard you are too. All of these things are variables, obviously, depending on how hard you use it, but what you do with your knife. And if you're wanting a really slicey edge, you might want to lay back your angle. You might want a little bit more edge retention out of it. So in that case, you might want a lower angle. Now, if it's softer, you might not want to, or you might at the very least lay it back and then put a micro bevel on it. Now, if it's too hard, you might get some micro chipping, depending on the steel, right? Because we didn't talk about what steel it's any steel. But also know what type of steel you're talking about too, because certain steels, are say if it's K390 or something, right? That's going to be a steel. If you lay it back at a really fine angle and you go up to a high polish, you have a good chance of microchipping anyways. So you do have to think about everything a little bit. Think about the steel and your use. But for the most part, we're all trying to get good edge retention, right? Good edge retention and good cutting performance. We're trying to get basically the best cutting performance we can possibly get without edge failure, without micro chipping and edge rolling. We're trying to find that balance between, I don't want my edge to roll and I don't want it to chip, but I want to cut as efficiently as possible with the best or the longest lasting edge retention as possible. By the way, I did wind up getting some gunny juice. You guys can probably see it behind me on the shelf right there. I got me some gunny juice and I've been testing it out. I got a video coming probably tomorrow. Shane, what's up, bud? What if I want a 12-degree edge on my N690 Roach? I love it. Well, you'll probably scratch the finish on your knife there, Shane. So just forewarning you before you do that, you just might scuff the shit out of your knife. 12 degrees is a very low angle. You know, you got to think that's like, let's say, let's just use this. Let's say this is the stone. 12 degrees is like that. So you're going to be really close. You'll probably scratch the shit out of your knife, Shane. You'll probably rub that coating right off. But hey, you will get some really good cutting performance, though. That son of a bitch will cut it'll cut real good after. Came close to buying some gunny juice. Steve, get some. The slurry scratched it all to hell. I know it did, Shane. I know it did. I know it did. Oh, especially if you're using that type of stone where you're going to have a slurry. I always recommend diamonds. But yeah, 12 degrees, man. That's far, man. That's that's an angle. That's a really, really low angle. I don't think a lot of people realize how low of an angle that is. Your edge bevel is nice and big. You know, there is a point of failure, you know, and I don't mean like it's actual failure, but what I mean is you're not going to get what you want. So there's going to be a level of which your angle is too fine, right? And in a lot of cases, if you're going to want something like that, then you're going to want a steel with really high edge stability, because edge stability is going to be the difference between whether or not you can tolerate an angle like this or like this, you know, where it's like stretched out really fine, you know. And if you can have a good steel with edge stability and a heat treat that you know, that works with it, then yeah, you can get that. But if not, you're gonna get microchipping. You're gonna roll your edge. There's just a point of it's too fine for the steel. You know, the steel is too hard or something, you know, like it's too brittle or too easy to roll or too easy to chip. Yeah, basically Jason is right. Yeah, 12 degrees, it has no support because you need, and I'm not saying you can't get 12 degrees. I'm not saying that, you know, in some cases you definitely could, but in a lot of cases for the type of knife and performance you're wanting. Now, obviously, if you're wanting just like some insane cutting performance, and yeah, go for it. Fuck yeah. But in a lot of cases, you're not going to have enough steel behind the edge to support the carbides in the steel. You know, they're going to be a little too big for that type of angle. They're going to end up chipping. There's lots of different things, lots of variables. But yeah, that's my angle too. 17. I go to 15 sometimes. There are a lot of times where I go 15 degrees, but usually I always say 17 to 20 is a safe area for most EDC knives. Obviously, there's going to be times where 17 isn't the best idea for some knives. 20 degrees. But like I said, between 17 and 20 is usually a safe area for most EDC knives. 15 degrees on some. Mostly folders and a bit of everything. When I try going that low freehand, I always end up convexing it before I'm done. Yeah, it's difficult to freehand at that low of an angle. Not saying you can't do it. So what I tape your knife up. Tape your knife up if you're going to do it, because it's very difficult at those very, very low angles, and you're stretching out so much. It's actually not a bad idea to convex it with that low of an angle. That low of an angle would probably benefit a lot with a convex edge. It's so thin behind the edge that the bevel isn't as big as you'd think. Microchipping, that's what you get during vaccination. Yes, it is. Oh man. I want 12 degrees on my XM24. Woo! That's a big edge bevel. I did I don't remember. I think it was like 15 degrees. Not like the other day on a hinder, and yeah, nice big bevel. Looks beautiful though, man. You had a nice. It depends on how you look at it too, because some people don't like big edge bevels. Some people want a little edge bevel. But some people, man, they like seeing that nice big edge bevel because it just screams sharp. You know, it just depends on what is attractive to your eye, you know. It was just a test. I know how to redo it. You know, I'm curious the sharpness on it, because you want to talk about sharpness, like doing the sharpness test, 12 degrees, that'd get you some good results. How are you? Wait, it's so terrible. I'm sorry to hear that, Stacy. I'm absolutely. Oh, she's talking to Walt. I'm absolutely fine. I'm glad to hear you're fine. 20 minutes from you. If I had to guess, the proponent is 12 degrees stock. The proponent's probably like 30 degrees. The proponent has a really high angle on it, most likely. Because 12 degrees would make I think, let me. Maybe it's it's probably like 25 degrees per side, 20. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I'm guessing it ain't lower than 20 for sure. Hey, Stasa23's in the house. What's up, bud? Shout out to Stasa23. You guys better be subbed to his channel. Go and sub to Stasa23's channel. So, let's talk about some must-haves. So, I want you guys to everybody name something that you consider a must-have that's either in your backpack, your car, on your person, something like that. Like, we all know some of the obvious, right? Like, we all agree we should have a knife on us, right? But what are a couple other things? I'm going to make a list of 5 must-haves that I think is a must-have in your backpack, in your car, on your person, whatever. So, my first one, a charging pack. I think this is very important to have a multi-wire, so meaning the wire system where you can charge anything, right? You know, it has like 3 wires on there where you can charge your flashlights, you can charge your phone, you can charge your iPad, you can charge your whatever. And a charging pack. So a pack that can charge multiple things at once, or at the very least, just charge your phone, right? I think that is very important. I think that's like common sense stuff. I'm talking about like the things that aren't like, you know, like think out of the box. Think out of the box. I just shot a video about this topic. It's coming out tomorrow or the next day. Damn it, Stassi, so was I. I'm just kidding. I do have one coming, but I'll make mine a little different now. Next thing. Work sharp field sharpener. If you guys don't have one of those by now, fucking slap yourself. You guys should definitely have one of those by now. I link them in every single video. Every single video, I link a work sharp field sharpener just so you guys can use my link and get me some money. But besides that, because it's a must-have. It really is. You can sharpen your knife in the field. You can sharpen your knife at work. You can sharpen your knife at home. You can hone your knife. You can strop your knife. You can do fish hooks. You can do serrations. It's so versatile, and you can carry it and use it anywhere. You can carry it in a bag. You can leave one in the car. You should have like 2 of them, to be honest. And the diamond plates are replaceable. They sell replaceable diamond plates for. So if you wear the diamond plate out, throw it away and get a new one. Also, it has an angle on it. So since it has the angle already on there, you don't even have to think about it. The edge angle is already there for you. It's got like a 20-degree angle set up for you. So super easy. And yes, and like Big Perm says arrowheads. You can do arrowheads too. So come on. All right, next thing. Cue ball swears by honing and stropping. You should. You can keep an edge going for a very, very long time with the right strops, the right compounds, and a honing stone. Evolve says it's always in his kit. Super Rad says a condom. Good thinking. Now, he's thinking outside the box. He always has a pack of rubbers on him, or at least one rubber. Hopefully it don't break. Halakema. Buy multiple and just keep them around the house. Never. Right. You keep one in your car. You can keep one in your garage. You can keep one in your ass. Keep one everywhere. I love the friendly competition that really doesn't exist. Yes, the Work Sharp Field Guide. The Work Sharp Guided Field Sharpener. Yes. Mine is what's in my EDC pouch. Absolutely. I think, like I said, it's not a bad idea to have a couple of them, but at least have one, and you can throw it in the thing that you transport around in. Or, like, I don't really leave anywhere without my bag. So having something in my bag is really all I need, because I usually don't go too many places without my bag. But, so I think it's just, yeah, I think it's good. Now, I could take my Lansky stones and I could use those too. I have no problem taking one Lansky stone and I can sharpen a knife. All I need is that one Lansky stone. It might be cool to have a strop or a ceramic stone too. Carry one of each. Love my pocket straps. There you go. Bang. Okay, I didn't even think about the pocket straps. Stas is over here flexing with his pocket straps. But next thing. Obviously a knife, right? Everybody knows we should have a knife on us. A good EDC light. I think having a good light, like right now, I probably have 10 flashlights around me right now. Probably more. Literally. I'm not joking. I could probably pull out 10 flashlights right now without going too far, like just by reaching places. But a good flashlight it's so good to have. Have it in your bag, have one on your person, have one everywhere. And I think another thing that's important is one that you are going to carry. You know, like anybody can have a big mag light, right? That you never see until the lights go out. But I'm talking about the one that, like, I have these little pen lights I put places. I have little lights everywhere and big lights. I think it's good to just have like one, like a good light in your backpack or your bag, one in your car, one in your tool area, one in your junk drawer. Next thing. Now I'm gonna give an honorable mention, but it won't matter once I say the next thing. Blades and Fades. What's up, brother? Going sub to Blades and Fades. A first aid kit. So a first aid kit is the main thing, but the next thing I was going to say is a lighter. You should always have a lighter of some sort of way to start a fire on you. Now, if you have a first aid kit, put a lighter in your first aid kit, bang, and now you got a lighter and a first aid kit. But a first aid kit, and not only just a regular first aid kit, you should probably have a trauma kit, because having a first aid kit is great. And 99% of the time, you're going to be using a first aid kit as a first aid kit. But the time when it's really going to matter, it's going to be a trauma kit you need. You're good. Like, having a good belt on you is very important too. So if you have a good first aid kit, a quality one. Like I literally just bought a whole new thing because I got that pack I want to fill, and I got a couple other packs I'm going to fill. So I'm going to take one pack that I bought that has like 250 pieces, and I'm going to break it into two. But and if you don't have the budget for these things, I've always built a first aid kit on a budget. Like to like stop bleeding and stuff, for like if I ran into somebody who got shot or stabbed, I used to have bandanas, and I'd always carry a couple of them on me. So if it was a bigger person, I could tie two bandanas into one and then wrap around the wound and tie it. And I always had bandanas on me. Or like if I was on the job and somebody cut themselves with a saw really bad or something, I always had those. And you got your belt too, right? But trauma kit / first aid kit, very, very important. And have the things in there like Theo Lord, bang, right there. I was literally just about to say that, Theo. Have things in there like clotting powder and things like that are going to benefit in a serious situation, and the minor ones, right? The minor ones, that's 99% of the time. But when it counts, you want to be ready. Hey, Wonder Woman's here. Gave out trauma kits for Christmas last year. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Yeah, that works, man. You can get online on Amazon. I can even link them. Maybe we'll do a little video on it. But you can get trauma kits and first aid kits that are already in a waterproof or water resistant pouch that's fully set up, all perfectly organized and set up for you. All you have to do is take it and throw it in wherever, and they're cheap. You can get them from $15 all the way up to $80, just depending on how big they are. But you can get a good first aid kit for $15. You can get a good trauma kit for like $30. Tampons and super glue, bang. A little cash, that's always smart. That double edge, you're thinking a little bit of cash is also a good thing to have lying around. A couple $100 just folded up somewhere. Now I talked to somebody, well, I was more listening to them, I wasn't talking, but they were talking about having silver. So instead of having like cash money, and like I think their whole idea behind it was that if we were struck or something bad happened, like that was so significant, money wouldn't matter. Money wouldn't mean anything to anybody. Like you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't even care about $100 bill, because at that point it's literally for burning. Like that's all it would be good for. But the one thing that will always be, it'll always be good to us because of electronics and building things, and for lots of different reasons, is like silver and gold, precious metals. So they said that what they do is they have a big collection of silver coins, because if they had to move and they had to relocate, they could take their coins and use them transactionally along the way. The gold is so heavy, like it's a lot more valuable, and like silver coins and things, you can use them, like kind of like dollars, a lot better than you can gold. Gold is worth a lot more, and silver will be a lot more transactional. But just little thoughts. Double edge. Thank you for the 5 bones. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Always keeping a fake gold wedding ring to wear in high crime areas. Buying for $5 on eBay hides the thieves something to think they got. Hey man, I've definitely had my fair share of selling some fake gold in my day. Yeah, that's true. Ammo would be extremely valuable for sure. 100%. Ammo will be extremely valuable. But you could say the same thing about a lot of things. A lot of things would be extremely valuable in that case. But yes. Ammunition would be extremely valuable. The other day, I drove 2 hours before I left my wallet in another vehicle. Luckily, I had a gas card with me. Good thinking. And that's where, check this out. One time, now this goes to show how the generational thinking. Okay, so this was my uncle, and he really made me think about it. So I went down to Florida. I drove down to Florida, had a bunch of people with me, and took a trip and everything else. Well, it so happens I went to jail. All kinds of shit happened, right? All kinds of shit happened. That's not the story. The story is I didn't leave Florida until I spent all my money, right? Then on the way back, yes, I had a credit card and everything, but that was about tapped out and I wound up going to jail. So there was a wrong turn, basically, if you know what I mean. Like there was a situation that happened that wasn't planned. So even though if everything went to plan, I would have plenty of money. But since things didn't go according to plan, I didn't have any money. Well, I get out of jail, right? And I'm on the phone with him, and he goes, "Hey, look under the seat." And I put my arm under the seat. He stashed a stack of money under there for me. So for him, being older than me and knowing and understanding, hey, shit happens, right? Shit happens sometimes. Before he left, because he left like 2 weeks before I ever left, and he knew that I wasn't going to leave until I ran out of money, and he left me his condo and everything. But just because he was that much more, prepared, he knew better to hide money for me just in case shit happened, right? And if nothing would have happened, he never would have told me. And when I got back, he would have just went and pulled it out and put it in his pocket, right? He never would have thought twice about it. I never would have even known. But since shit did happen, he was already prepared for me. That's a lot. That's love. That's love for sure. 2A Dave, yes, ammo is worth more than money right now for sure. Cigarettes is definitely money. That's definitely good money. It's definitely a bargaining chip. Good night. Good night, everybody. Have a nice weekend. All right, Mom. I love you. Good night, Mom. I keep a trauma kit in my backpack and take the pack everywhere in the car. That's what I do, basically. I'm getting a new one right now. The one I have, I don't think is efficient as I'd like. I mean, it's okay, but I want it to be better. Cigarettes and whiskey miniatures are great for the apocalypse or picking up chicks in Louisiana. There you go. You're prepared for anything. Anything can happen. Florida man vibes going on here. All right. I'm gonna catch up. Yes, remember to hit that like button. Thank you, Cue Ball. I appreciate that. Kizer T1, absolute yay. Kizer T1's awesome. That's a fucking badass knife. It was my favorite Kizer at one time. It's a really good one. Amazing thumb stud action. It does have a strong detent, so it has really snappy action. A lot of the old Kizer titanium frame locks, they're like some of the best Kizers ever. Kizer used to make, and still do. I'm not saying they don't make them no more, but Kizer had a extremely good catalog of titanium frame locks. Like they came out swinging a couple of years ago with their titanium frame locks. Now, just like this year, how they came out swinging with their budget, like their high-end budget knives, whatever you want to call them, their budget knives, how good they are. They did the same thing with titanium frame locks like 2 years ago. Jared, just remember how smart and or wise we all thought we was 18 to 25 years old compared to now. You know, older and wiser for sure. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Time time definitely gives you knowledge, experience, and that's something, you know, you can't just look up. like you can Google a lot of things, but you can't Google knowledge. You know, having knowledge and just experience on things and going through shit. It's definitely time and age that does it to you. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of knowledge even then. By the time I was 18 to 25, I had been through a lot of shit, and I was prepared for most things. But you still, though, you know, the older generation was still even more prepared than I was. And, you know, they should be, right? I mean, they had my back for sure. So I want to shout out Knife Nerdery really quick. I went to his channel and he had he borrowed it from somebody, but a bolster lock whippersnapper. A bolster lock whippersnapper. So it looks pretty badass. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it looks pretty amazing. I'm not sure if I can pull one up or not. Olamic might have one on their site. I'm not sure. But it looked pretty sweet. I like the whippersnapper, first of all. And a whippersnapper bolster lock is just badass. It's not it. I don't know if they'll have. Oh wow, I've never seen these knives. Oh, this must be that new slip joint they're doing. Here, I'm going to show you guys this. Let's pull this up really quick. Share screen because you're not smart enough to do it before you start this. Chrome tab. Bang, bang, bow. All right. So check these out. This was, I guess, at the Blade Show, California Customs Knife Show. That looks pretty sweet. I wonder if they're a double detent knife or if it's just a slip joint. Oh, I did not mean to hit it that many times. I thought, oh wow, they got a dual ground whatchamacallit there. I can't think of the name of it. Where is, let me try to find this whippers. Oh, there we go. Here's one of our 3 bolster lock whippersnappers. These are very cool looking. I like the whippersnapper with the other blade, not this blade in particular. I like the sheep's foot one better. They call this the Wharncliffe, but you know, it's kind of a modified Wharncliffe. I personally like the sheep's foot a little bit better. It's just a little bit slicier, and I like having that tall area right here in the belly area. And this tip is really nice for utility cuts. I love this middle one. That's awesome. I like this setup a little bit better. It looks like micarta in titanium, but I love that blade shape better on the middle one. All right, let's see what else Olamic's got in here. I know a lot of us don't have Olamic money, but we'll still check them out. Some of us do. Some of us do. Man, I used to like. I still love Olamic, but they had some knives like that I used to drool over back in the day. Now, you know, my style's changed a little bit. The whippersnapper I still love, but there's some that I'm not. Ricardo, thank you for the 2 bones. Sir Neeves, good evening. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I bought that Curex. There you go. That Curex is badass. Jared, I'll sell you mine. It is the sheep's foot. I already have one, bud. I already have one. But I appreciate it though. Thank you, Knife Sergeant. Anybody who wants to get a whippersnapper, contact Knife Sergeant. He's got one. That's badass. Yeah, I got one. I got the one with the sheep's foot blade and I got the holes. Mine's green with the polished green holes. Love it. I love that knife. But the Curix, though, Curix is a badass knife. If you don't have whippersnapper money, you can get a Curix. It's a little. Oh, you got the bolster lock version. Oh shit, man! I just made some big purchases, man. If I didn't just make some massive purchases, I totally would. But yeah, I couldn't even justify it at this point. The money I've spent the past few days. Let's not say that too loud. Hey, what's up? I know. And Kara bought something really big for me too. Yeah. But no, what I got was for the channel, so it's
Oh, it wasn't for me.
sorry guys. I I hit a button and it just kicked me completely out. But I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, he's been fine. Exactly. I was gonna come back like this, holding my face. Kara, shut that shit down. Yeah, yeah, I know it did. Looked like she came in here swinging. She got that credit card statement. Pray that Kara does not murder Jared during this interruption. That's hilarious. So speaking of Kara, though, we have a video coming up. I beg you guys to watch it. You're gonna notice Kara is the thumbnail, so it's a really cool video. We did put some work into it, and this is like a video that took a couple months to make, so definitely watch it. It's really cool. Right. She ain't got hands. Women. That's why, like.
Now look at that cup you're holding right now.
That
was my heart. I gave it to you.
I know, and it's almost gone. All right. What was the next thing I was going to talk about? Oh, Tucson with their 14C28N. I'm pretty sure Tucson's having a shortage on 14C28N. So let me grab this knife real quick. Oh, baby. You got me a refill. Oh, baby.
It's a white cup.
It's so delicious. All right, so I'm pretty sure Tucson has a shortage on 14C right now. If you guys noticed, any of you guys that buy Tucson's, for some reason, most of Tucson's knives that normally come in 14C28N are all in D2 at the moment. Like a lot of their new knives, which they haven't used D2 on their titanium models in a while, they've been using 14C. All the new ones are in D2. Now, it could be a price thing. I don't know. Maybe they got a good deal on some D2 or something. I don't know, but I imagine they probably ran short on 14C and maybe it wasn't available. As we know, like with the pandemic and everything, maybe like there's been shipping shortages from other countries and things like that. And that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that they didn't have the ability to get the 14C. So just letting you guys know that's probably the issue. All D2 is not created equal. And that's the problem with D2 is that, well, no steel is created equal, but it's probably the least equal of all steels. Very like M390. M390 is the same way. But the thing with D2 is a recipe. So the reason why we can say, oh, that's Chinese D2, right? Because D2 is just a recipe. It's not like say M390, right? Or 20CV, where those have to be specifically made in their countries. You know, there's we have CPM, we have Bowler, right? So those places are the ones that make those. They can't put that on that steel if they don't, without that being from there. Anyways, D2 is not like that. Anybody can make D2. D2 is just a recipe. But D2 also has gotten better from some companies, but some companies are still doing a bad job with it. Civivi, yeah, I hope so. I hope so, because they're doing a good job with it. Now, let's talk about this button lock really quick, and then we're going to talk about the Cogent. So I took it apart. I did try to get the lock stick out. It still has it. I'm not sure what to do about the lock stick. It does have a nice strong spring in it. Now, I can get it to be a light lock stick if I just slow roll it, but if I flick it out hard, it sticks good. Mostly folders and a bit of everything with the 10 bones. Thank you. Have you told MC yet that his steel tier list was objectively wrong? I have not. I didn't watch it. I turned it on and then turned it back off. No, I'm just joking. No, I didn't see it, but that's his opinion, I guess. But it's probably objectively wrong, especially if he put 14C in the wrong place. Crucible does make D2. Man, this thing has some serious lock stick though. Like sometimes it's like I thought it'd break in by now. I'm surprised it hasn't. But I will say this: no blade rock whatsoever. Blade play, I can fix that. But no blade rock. No lock rock, no blade rock. Now, when we move over here to the Cogent, beautiful detent, no stick whatsoever. Very, very nice. However, we got some blade rock. You probably can't hear it because I can't even hear it, but it does have a little bit of blade rock. The blade is rocking a little bit. Is it that big of a deal? No, not really, because it's a plunge lock. It's not like a frame lock or a liner lock where that can be an issue. However, it's new. I've barely used it. To be honest, for fidget factor, I've barely fidgeted with it. When we think about long-term fidgeting, this thing's barely been used. It's brand new. So it makes me wonder, how bad is it going to get? Like in 3 months, let's say 3 months, if I'm cutting with it, using it, and flicking it. And I'm not saying fidget with your knife. I'm just saying if I did, how bad would it be? Because, it's not horrible yet, but I feel it. Now, when I first got it, it didn't have any. Didn't have any at all. But now it does. So now what could I do? I could put a new spring in it. So I could take it apart, take it all apart, and I could take the spring out and I could replace the spring. Some people like to take their old button locks that have really strong springs and swap them out. I'm not sure if this spring would fit in that one, but I could do something like that. Swap the springs, maybe. That's not a bad idea. My stick would go away on this one, and then my play would go away on this one, maybe. Not a bad idea. I might try that, actually. My Cogent has 0 rocker play. Mine didn't either. Mine did not have any. How many times have I used this thing? I've cut maybe... I haven't cut that much with this thing, man. I've used it a little bit in the kitchen. I've cut a little cardboard. I did bring it to work, but I didn't use it that much that day at work. Like I used it like a quarter of the day. So, it's still on. It has a little bit of edge damage up here, but not much. Like nothing like, I wouldn't even sharpen it yet. I would just hone it. D-Bass, I missed the last couple of your lives. Yeah, you have. It's good to be back. Your content always puts me in a better mood. Thank you, Jared. Awesome, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donation. Thank you for coming back. We've been missing some D-Bass. Don't cross the streams. I'm out of that conversation. Jared, have you got your hand on Yes, I do have one here right now. However, it's not like Lefty's. It's not like the one Lefty has. It is got the strongest detent I've ever felt on a button lock. Like you can't like it's hard to just pulling it out like this. It's like pop, like it's bad. Its detent is so strong. It's crazy strong. It's even stronger than this one. This one has a good detent, but this one's nothing like that thing. You can't reverse flick the one I have here. It must be one of the first ones, and I guess they fixed it. So I'd love to feel one of the newer or one of the ones that got redone. I'd be more worried about touching tips than crossing streams. That's why That's why only button locks for shits and giggles, not really for work. Yeah, I agree and disagree. Okay, so I'm gonna disagree if you're talking about a pro tech, if you're talking about something that has perfected the button lock. Now, when we're talking about some budget knives like this, I mean, if you're just using it as a cutting tool, this is tough. This is going to be strong. It'll be just fine. Is it going to be as strong as an Axis lock? No. It's it's not something you're going to baton with or anything. And I'd be interested in to see how tough it could actually be. A couple spine whack tests. It'd be funny if it fixed it. But yeah, I mean, I thought about, to be honest, I'll be honest, guys. I actually thought about buying a couple button locks and doing some tests just to find out. Let's see how tough these fucking things are. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll buy another one of these and another Civivi Elementum button lock. I might actually already even have one that'll work. And maybe a couple other ones, like maybe one of Kizer's, and just test them and let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out how fucking tough these button locks are. Now, Pro-Techs are strong. I already know that. I'm not saying that you're going to want to spine whack the shit out of them, but I have no doubt in my mind that Pro-Techs would be just fine. Did anyone see that gas station Malibu knockoff? No, I didn't. I'm interested now. Cue Ball will be right back. How are those Kizer button locks? I heard they're pretty good. Yeah, I mean, mine right now is still solid. No blade rock. It's doing pretty good. I'm actually pretty surprised it's doing pretty good. I wish the detent was a little bit better. It's really good on the flipper tab. I just wish it was a little bit better with the reverse flick. Like a lot of button locks, when it's disengaged and it's like this and you're not pushing the button, some of them can be a little gritty until you push the button. When you push the button, they're super smooth, right? But when you're not pushing the button, they're a little gritty. And that's the plunge riding on the tang of the blade, basically. So this is ultra smooth, even if I'm not pushing the button. That's the beautiful thing about this. It feels very high end. I really like that. I actually would prefer that over the other one because of that reason, even though I do want a strong lockup and everything else. My Hogue button lock. Yeah, Hogue's another one. I've never had one, so I can't speak to it, but I've heard they're really good. Do you think if the blade wasn't coated, you could still reverse flick it? Yes. And I say that because it has a light detent. It's super easy. Like I know I could do it even if it didn't have a coating because it's a light detent. But because of the way the flipper tab is designed, you get a ton of leverage in that flipper tab. That's why it works so good. You don't need a strong detent with this. And it's hard to fail. I mean, I can fail it. But with a little bit of effort, it'll flip all the way. So now here's me failing it. I have to try. Now with just barely an attempt, it'll flip all the way. It's very, very smooth. And that's what I mean. There's no grittiness to it. It's glassy, even if you're not pushing the button. My Cogent makes a nice ting. Yeah, so I love it. I love it. I love that ting. Ting, ting. I love it. Somebody said they hated it. I was like, you're out of your damn mind. Did anyone see those $799 exclusive Malibus at Urban Supply EDC? They sold out instantly. Damn! I wouldn't pay that much. Hell no. Why are you always pushing buttons? I'm a button pusher. Beglighter XL Forge button lock in February. I know. I'm excited about that one. I just ordered a button lock Elementum. I'll report any issues. I have two of them. I have one that's better than the other, but they're both very good. I wonder how the actions would be on the Kizer Swayrex button lock. What do you mean how they would be? They're good. They're really good. I got one. It's good. This one also, though, it was really strong for a long time. I have two of them. I might have given one away. We had two of them. Anyways, it's got a little tiny bit of blade rock, but it's very, very minimal. And that's after quite a bit of use. So it's not that bad. And but most 90% of button locks have blade rock. A little tiny bit, because it's, the plunge fits into an area. And it's just that area barely rocking. That doesn't mean it's going to push it out of the way like a frame lock. It's not the same. Kind of like an axis lock. Most axis locks have blade rock. A little tiny micro bit. It has nothing to do with the integrity of the lock or how strong the lock is. You will not break that lock any easier because of that. It makes no difference. So now if that was a frame lock or a liner lock, that would be a good argument. It's weaker. It's not as strong, blah, blah, blah. But this is a good knife. No, I got the thumb stud one too. They do the micarta ones without the thumb studs. Flipper only. Did your Cogent come with button stick? No, my Cogent is smooth as butter. Maybe right at first, like the first couple pushes, but pretty quickly it went away. I do think I remember a tiny bit when I first got it, but it quickly broke in. Button lock by Mini Slim Pickens is awesome. Yeah, that was another one I felt that was really solid too, but I've only felt one. So, and it was used and loved and refinished and everything. So, and it didn't have any blade or any blade rock at all. What's up, Brandon? Brandon Thrash is in the house. I know. And I spoke about that because I was screaming about that knife. Listen, I wanted more deployments too, guys. It's not like that I was excited that it was just a button lock. However, it's such a good knife that I can get past it not having another deployment, besides the button. And it is kind of unique. When you close it, you can feel that lock just suck that blade in. There is something satisfactory about it. Like, I like it. I don't mind it. And there's a lot of button locks that have multiple deployments. Do I wish it had a flipper or a thumb stud? Yes. But that doesn't mean I hate the knife because of that. I like the button lock. Go through 100 drawers here. There's something that's just, it's satisfying too when it closes and it locks in place. Especially when you get it down, and I can push the button and flick it at the same time and let go of that button. This one's solid still. Maybe, no, it's solid. Very solid. My other one has a stronger spring though. That's what's kind of weird. Or maybe the lock is just broken in better, but you can really feel like when you close it, it's like pop. Like it really sucks that blade back in. Just ordered an Elemental button lock as well. It'll be here Tuesday. Awesome. You're going to love it, man. It's my favorite blade shape right here. Bang. That's my favorite blade shape. I love this blade shape. Put a hole on top. Ooh, buddy. Kind of like the Gale Bradley too. This is literally, I've said this a bunch of times. This is a Gale Bradley. That's what this is. Watch this. Watch this. And this is like the ultimate work knife. Now really look at that. Tell me that's not a Gale Bradley. Let me move my hand. It's the same exact damn thing. I can put it right on top of each other. The only thing that's different is it has the hole on top. And that's why I love this knife. I love this blade shape. People call it a drop point. I call it a spear point. I can do utility cuts. I can slice. I can push cut. I can stab things. I love it. And it's so slicey. It's like 15 thousandths behind the edge. Nice. It's like 120 thousandths blade stock thickness, I think. It might be 130, but I think it's 120. Nice, tall hollow grind. Beautiful sharpening tool. You get a lot of life out of this. And the cutting performance is insane. And that's like, and to top it all off, it's 14C28N that they did an incredible heat treat on. So, to me, that's they hit so many corners that to me, it not having another deployment is, I don't care. People can shit all over for not having a deployment option, but that means to me, if you say that, this is just my opinion, and I'm not talking shit about nobody, but if you discredit this knife because it doesn't have a deployment option, like a flipper or a thumb stud, well then to me, you care more about fidgeting than the use of the knife. Because to me, the ergos, the cutting performance, the way it carries, its geometry, heat treat is all like really good. So to discredit it based off of it not having a one deployment option, that to me is crazy. Like, this is a really good knife. And don't get me wrong, I still wish it had a flipper tab too or something. Hey Jared, hope all is well. How did it go in the disassembly, reassembly of the 0470 video without soldering iron, mate? If no go yet, please keep trying. Many thanks. I don't have an 0470. I don't have one, so I don't think. I don't have one, so I can't do a video on it. 103 likes. Awesome. You guys are amazing, man. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for all the likes. And huge thank you to everybody who supports this channel, because this channel would not be what it is without you guys. And I was talking about this with Cue Ball earlier, this engine, the knife community only runs because of all the parts, right? And the people who support the channels and support me and support my channel and give me the likes, give me comments, subscribe, Patreon, all these things that use my links. It's such a massive part of the engine, and not just for me, for everybody, for everybody in the community. It makes this vehicle move, towards better and better, towards the knives getting better, towards our laws getting better, like say with Doug Ritter and things like that. Like, there's so many attributes, there's so many parts of the engine, and a lot of times we don't think about the little parts that mean so much to this thing running efficiently. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. You guys are amazing. That's how my 2-son Vandal is. I can't pull past the detent. Yeah, the original ones were really, really bad. Like, really, really strong detents. But supposedly they fixed it. I put a 10-degree edge on that Elementum. Mine, I put a 17-degree edge, and it's great. I did do a cut test with this. I did a cut test with a controlled cut test with cardboard. If you guys didn't see that video, I tested out their 14C28M because I wanted somebody to do a cut test. And I hope Cedric and Ada Pete does a rope cut test, because I wanted a cut test so bad. I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself. Because I needed to test. What's up? How you doing, man? I don't know if that's my cousin or my nephew. I'm guessing it's my cousin. What's up, Eric? But yeah, I wanted to test it so bad. I wanted to test that heat treat so bad. So yeah, it was nice getting Breeze, are you serious? Dominator Neve, you put a unicorn up there. Countless moving parts. Exactly. Yes, countless moving parts, but we forget about some of the ones that literally keep this thing going, and I'm super blessed to have all your guys' support. Wouldn't discredit it for lack of an extra deployment option. I just would like to have one to account for circumstances like gloves, urgency, cold fingers, etc. I agree. I mean, like you said, I want one too. I just, as an EDC knife, like, to me, like, if it was something like that, I wouldn't use it for those things. But for just an EDC knife, it's fantastic. Around the house, EDC knife, maybe in the summer at work, maybe, but like with certain things, like, it's just such a great knife, But yeah, I'd rather it have a deployment option too. Have you ever had a knife so sharp you used it to shave your face? I did. Yes, I did. 2 times. I actually did a video on, but it was a straight razor video. But I did do a video with a straight razor and I shaved. But yeah, I've definitely used some of my edges to shave with, just for to do it, I'm always seriously waiting on someone to take me seriously. That's hilarious. So one of these days, Breeze, you'll get somebody. You'll get somebody for sure. The button lock was nice and thinly ground. I feel like the Senka Actium was thinner, though. You know what? I literally, in my video earlier, I wound up editing it out, but I had the Senka Actium in my my underrated knives video, because it's such a good knife. It's such a good work knife. Like, that's like one of the ultimate budget knives. Like, it's almost unbeatable. There's not too many knives that can beat the Actium dollar for dollar. When you look at everything, the action, the grind, how thin it is, the geometry, everything. It's such a good knife. That Actium is like the best budget knife of the year, 100%. Hey, Mason, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. You're awesome, man. Yes, it's so fidgety. It's really, really nice. That's a damn good knife. Damn good knife. So I wanted to speak about my Atoma plate really quick, just in case if any of you guys have some sharpening systems or freehanding and are thinking about getting one of those diamond Atoma plates I got. So after sharpening dozens of knives, I don't know, 30 knives maybe, give or take, it's holding up really good. It's still very, very aggressive. Yes, it's gotten less aggressive than it was, so it is definitely losing aggression, but it's still very, very aggressive. So it probably started out at, like, it's supposed to be 140 grit. It probably started out at like 100 grit, and now it's broken into about 140 grit. Now let's see how long it can hold the 140 grit. But as of right now, I still recommend them if you're needing to hog some steel off. If you're wanting to reprofile fast, those Atoma plates are like, there's nothing that can beat them in speed of cutting. They're hyper aggressive. All right. Oh, you know what else I noticed on the new Tucsons? They take their clips now. They're doing it where they have a barrel that's going through the other side, coming out of this side, and it looks like it's just on top of the surface. I actually thought it was just on top of the surface, but it actually has a cutout, a secondary cutout. So where the clip where the clip would hit the material, you know, right here, it actually has another piece milled out that goes into the carbon fiber or whatever material the knife is. So there's an actual cutout here, and there's another piece milled into the bottom of this that pokes into there, and it wraps around a barrel so that there's no play at all. Like, it's super solid. Derek Goodman, thank you for the 5 bones, man. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you for the donations. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it. Our analytics are low right now. Let me tell you, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you. I'm still in love with the Atlas. I'm so happy I jumped in the Amazon special when Jared mentioned it. Bang. Ooh, the stick is starting to go away. It's not as bad. No lock play, or the button lock too, son. It's still a little bit, but it's not bad. Not as bad as it was, but it is starting to kind of come loose a little bit. Maybe it was just because it was loose. All right, so what was the next knife I want to talk about? Oh, the bearings on Kizer. So this is something I keep hearing like lefties say and other people, right? So thank you again, Derek. Let me grab a Kizer really quick. Now, some of them have it, some of them don't. I know what people are talking about. Here's the Actium. Here's the Actium, by the way, if anybody who doesn't know. The Actium, super thin hollow ground, drop point blade that's kind of like a harpoon. Beautiful sharpening choil, very smooth, great thumb stud action, great flipping action, amazing knife. D2 steel, but Civivi does a good job with the D2. I don't care what anybody says. Now, I know that's an ugly knife. We'll grab a different knife. So I've heard a lot of people. Douglas, pop up over here. Douglas, thank you, man. Damn it. Thank you, Douglas. I appreciate it, man. So people, thank you very much. I appreciate the $5. People have been saying about feeling some of the Kizers, their bearing. You feel their bearings, basically. So one of the things is when you unlock it, you can feel it like go down to there. You feel the bearings kind of rattle right there. Then when you let it drop, this one I don't feel it on. But that's a thing, right? I know what they're saying. And yeah, it is a thing. It is a thing. But the action you're getting, they're giving you the action you want. And I think some of the reason why is because they're taking out so much weight relief on this side of the knife. So down here on the knife, you know, on the tang of the blade, they're taking off so much material that it's almost hollow, which makes it very light on that side. And that's why on this side, it's blade heavy and it just drops, which is very nice. It's the action we want, right? We want that kind of action. But some of their knives don't do it. Like there's actually like the Deviant, I don't feel the bearings at all on the Deviant, but they don't have that cutout. They don't have all that extra weight relief, even though it's stupid smooth on the Deviant. It doesn't do that. So there's some knives that do have that little bit of the bearing rattle feel on the Kizers, and then some that don't. Like the Kizer Beglighter does have it. Like I said, the Deviant doesn't. The Kizer Horn does not. Very, very smooth. And this is so smooth, man. This is the best reverse flicker of the year. You can't beat this action. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. For the price you're paying, you're getting, I mean, for the action, Yeah, I'd like it better if it didn't have that too. I wish it had a little more similar action to like this or like the Deviant, but it's not they're not that expensive. It pertains mainly to their budget knives, the action on the Titan. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it has I should have said that, Knife Sergeant. I'm glad you said that because I should have said that. It's only a few models on their budget knives. It has nothing to do with their frame locks, nothing to do with their bolster locks, nothing to do with any other knife but some of their budget knives. And there's some of their budget knives that have stupid good action. Like I said, like the Baglighter 2. What's another one that has it? And a couple other models, but most of them don't have it. Or not most, I would say a lot of them don't, but some do. Now, to me, it's not even that big of a deal. Like, I don't even care about it because when I check it, they're super solid. They're locked up like a rock. There's no problems with it. So that little tiny bit of a rattle when I feel it hit right here and I can feel the bearings, kind of shift a little bit. And then sometimes maybe on the close, you'll feel a little bit. You might feel the bearings like continue to roll a little bit. The tolerances are like probably so tight that they're perfectly touching. So the bearings are almost loose in there, right? They're touching, but they're also like barely touching. It's not like they're touching like this where they're squeezing into each other. And so they're nice and tight in there. It's more where they're just barely touching and they're a little looser. That's my guess. And because so much weight relief on that side that you can actually feel it. Now, I would say if there wasn't so much weight relief out, I don't think you'd feel it because I think there'd be more steel surrounding the area that would be buffering any feeling of the bearings. But since they've taken out so much steel on that side and hollowed out the bearing track and everything, there's a lot less metal there. Therefore, you can feel the little bits of vibrations in the pivot. That's my theory. I could be wrong, but that's my theory. Does anyone know the story about Kizer being shady or something? Jim Skelton despises Kizer because of something shady they did, but Jim didn't know. I don't know. I heard, and I can't elaborate. I can't figure it out either, but I heard that they used to. This is just what I heard. I'm not saying it's true at all, but I heard that when they first started, they took some designs. I don't know if they actually took real designs or if there was just similarities in designs. I have no idea. I don't ever remember Kizer ever being a company that stole designs. Maybe they do. I wasn't in the community when he first started, so I don't know. So that's the one thing that I hear is that they stole some designs and then they did some things that people were calling shady at the time. There are 2 unwritten rules. Thanks, Breeze. Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Testing our Hogue's warranty right now, but I've heard nothing but great things. Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things too from Hogue. I'm pretty sure you're going to be just fine and happy. What's up, Paper Tiger? The Cogent doesn't rattle though. The bearings on Kizers are really thin and move around a little bit. No, I wasn't talking about the Cogent. I was talking about on Kizers. My titanium Baglighter is one of those stupid actions. My Baglighter 2 is ridiculously smooth. I know. I love the Baglighter 2. The Baglighter 2 and the Rapids is another good one. The Rapids is really, really good too. But yeah, I agree that titanium Baglighter is awesome. It's really good. What the fuck is this? I hate when I accidentally click stuff. I ordered that Critical Mini 2 days ago. Awesome. Yeah, the Critical Mini's a good one. That's a really good one. The 3V. I personally like the Deviant better, though. I'll be honest. I like the Deviant a little bit better. It's not quite as they're like around the same size, but the handle, in my opinion, is more comfortable on the Deviant, and I just like it better. It feels a little bit higher end, a little bit higher quality, but it is more expensive though. It's like $30-$40 more. And it's an M390 instead of 3B. Hey Breeze, can you spell those out for me, please? No, I passed on that one. Going to wait for the Nimble 3.5 pre-order. Yeah, I might grab the 3.5. You know, they're gonna have some similarities with this. I'll probably grab the other blade shape that's more like this though, because the Nimble that they have the 3.5-inch Nimble. They have one coming out with a blade just like this, or very similar to this. So it'll be like that. Just got mine today. Freeman. This is a knife not too many people are talking about anymore, man. Still a solid knife, man. This is a good knife. And I still got the titanium version, but they never came out with it. I don't know what happened with that. Maybe they're just going to wait till the beginning of 2022. Larger cormorant would be awesome. Well, they got the beg lighter. Well, it's not going to be like the cormorant, but it'll be a button lock. Need to slow it down for a bit. I have plenty to keep me entertained. I know what you mean. I'm very pleased with how my collection has evolved. Now going to be more picky. Yeah. Well, you know, you can always trade and sell. You can always do that. You're always going to find people that are willing to trade this knife for that knife and buy this knife, and then you can go buy that knife. So once you have, and I'm not saying you won't ever put money into it, but if you restrain yourself from selling any knives or trading any knives and only collect, spend so much time collecting. You have your user knives, and then take your other knives and just kind of collect them and figure out which ones you like so much that you're not willing to part with them, and then use those, right? Because you're not going to part with them. And then the other ones that you're like, I like them, but I would part with it. Well, then you might want to just save it. And then after you have a big enough collection, your collection can pay for itself. You can, now I'm not saying you're not going to eventually have to put money in, but you can trade a lot of knives. So you can trade this for that, you know, flip this for that, sell this for that, and then, you know, buy your next 10, 20 purchases with the knives you've already purchased. Now, a lot of people do that. And a lot of people, like, they'll just, you know, even though there might be a new knife that's coming out, if they want it that bad, they'll sell this knife and buy that knife. Or wait for somebody to buy that knife and then trade them. 1 minute knife review says exactly. Jared, still remember my first decent trade. Let's see, it was a Manix 2 XL. And oh yeah, 2U. I still got it. I love that XL. I love it. Have you seen the new QSP Penguin Titanium Frag? I have not seen the Frag version. At least I don't think maybe I have, but I definitely I've tried the titanium version. Really good knife. Man, this thing's getting, I just opened this thing today. This thing's already getting super smooth. Detent is so nice on these. Very comfortable. Some people call it dickering. There you go. You got to dicker around a little bit. I need you to throw some knives up for trade sale. Got a few that never get any pack time. I am doing mine after the new year. I'm going to do it because I got these videos that I have to do for the 2021 knives, and among other things that I really want to do. Now, I'm going to save some for next year and the beginning of next year for videos I have planned, but I am going to do a pretty large knife sale that's going to hopefully fund some of my new purchases for 2022. Neeves, I see Kizer listened to you and sourced new American micarta for the sheepdog. Yes, yes, they did. And that smart. You know, it's smart for them to listen to the community, especially to the knife reviewers. And I don't mean like not especially to the people that buy the knives, but I mean especially to the knife reviewers that listen to the community. Because if they want to knock it out of the park, listen to the people who are testing their knives and listen to the people that have the most voices going on and or they're communicating with everybody. Because damn it, man, their micarta has. Can you imagine how many knives they wouldn't have sold if they wouldn't have got the USA micarta? Imagine that, because they were really good. It's not that their knives are really good, but having extremely good quality micarta takes them over the top. Even better than Civivi. Civivi's been the leader of the pack the past couple years, and they are shitting the bed on their micarta, which is crazy. Kizer has been killing a lot of great knives this year. They came out swinging big time. They are definitely doing some crazy or they're coming out with a lot of knives too. It's not like they just did one or two. They did a lot of knives, and they did a lot of really good quality ones. And one of the things that they did above everybody else was they did super steals on budget knives. So yes, the price goes up a little bit, but not like crazy. So I would like to see them take some of these knives and make them titanium. I think that would be a nice, good move. Some of them even maybe titanium liner locks. That would be a big improvement. I know the price would go up, but that would some of these knives, man, they would be really good as a high-end knife, even though they have high-end steel, but it'd be really cool to see them in all fully, titanium or whatever. So if even micarta really does thing. Yeah, it's not the best. They did better. They're not as bad as they were. They're taking baby steps. It's like they're getting better just slowly. Tell them to bring out more sheepdog full size with thumb holes. I agree. I want to see them do the thumb hole version with the really nice brown micarta. I'd love to see them do it in this micarta. Like the horn. I'd buy that. That or just some of their other micarta. Now the micarta that came on the sheepdog with the hole is good micarta, but it's more the denser stuff. They polished it a little too much. It's still really good though. I'm not saying it's bad. What do you think about the new Megaron Centurion 2? I think it's awesome. I'm not a big fan of that colored carbon fiber, but the Centurion, the first one, man, super snappy, good action, great knife, super solid knife too. Very, very well done. I think Megaron is doing really good stuff. I really do. I think that they have a couple things to work on. Their plunge grinds. Their plunge grinds and choils, I think they do need to work on. Some of their knives have a bad stop pin placement. Other than that, though, man, they're solid. I'm not hating their heat treat yet. I still have some more to test, but it's okay at least. It didn't seem like it was super soft. Now, I'm not saying it's really good. I did notice that the S90V didn't hold the best fine edge. What does that say? Not too much, because it should hold a really good working edge. So it's just they're doing really good though. Especially for a new company, they're doing really good. I've got a Civivi Durus that never wanted to get along with me for some reason. It needs a new home. That happens. That happens with everybody, especially when you go through a lot of knives. You're always going to find eventually one that just doesn't get along with you. Civivi's micarta is just fine. It just uses too much resin. It makes me feel like right. But their new stuff is a little bit better. They don't polish it as much. It has a little bit more of a good texture on it. Not this stuff, the new stuff, but I guess that's a step in the right direction. And that's all I can ask for. I want them to keep stepping in the right direction. Dominic, I think Kizer has the best micarta. I agree. I have 18 knives from Kizer, also Blade HQ exclusive feldspar and green micarta, 3 and 3.5 inch. Check them out. Yeah, CJRB has really good micarta because they're using USA micarta, and Kizer has really good micarta because they're using USA micarta. So Bees Blades is in the house. Shout out to Bees Blades. Get your asses over there and go give him a follow. You guys should already be following him. So if you're not, slap yourself and then go follow him before or after following him. You can wait to slap yourself if you first sub to his channel, then slap yourself. Yeah, it's really dense, but a lot of that has to do with their finishing work. So depending on how they finish it has a lot to do with it. But yeah, I agree. Some of the stuff it is just it seems like it's so dense, but that's because they polish like the edges or they don't rough it up enough. And sometimes the type of resin that they're using. So I think they need to use a different kind of resin and a different type of finishing process. Anyone get the 80-20.5s this past week? Got a black one to match my 80-20. It's so much smaller, but man, it's fun to fidget with. I have a 20.5 already, and a 20. Badassery. So before we get out of here, I want everybody to have one answer. Illinois big boy. What's up, Illinois? Viper Knives also has top shelf micarta. Yes. So does Giant Mouse. Giant Mouse, Viper Knives, they're Italian. Italian companies have really good micarta. So I should have said that. You're right. Italian knives have really good micarta as well. As far as the Chinese companies go, though, the ones that use the USA micarta are the good ones. Now, what is everyone's knife of the year? If you had to leave one answer and one answer only, what knife would you say is the best knife of the year? What knife is the top dog? I don't care if it came in at the beginning of the year or at the end of the year. What knife did it best in 2021? What knife did it the best in 2021? What's up, Tony D from England? Shout out to England. All my England brethren. Geez, a tough one. Well, you got to answer, man. You got to fucking answer. Spanky says the Rotten 2.0. Jay Friedman says the Beluga. The Kubi KU322. EMP EDC Nimble. Lots of great. I like how we're getting different answers. The Red Horse Hellraiser P. Did you see Dirk's custom one? Woo-hoo! That thing looks badass. I have to go by price categories? No price categories. Just random. I don't care if you go budget, high end. You can say like this did so good for this price that it has to beat everything else. You could try to go like that if you want to. EMP EDC Nimble, the Riffle. The Riffle did do a good job. 1 minute, I'm playing with the Manix 2 lightweight. Just swap the S30V blade and change the Flytanium ball. Yeah, I like them changed too. The Wii Esprit. That's another good one. Who's that? A slightly stronger detent, but that's a really good one. QSP Penguin for the price, Dan. That is a hard one to beat, right? But then again, we got these Sativian knives. These things are same price. Kizer Towser K. That's a new one, but it is damn good. The new Hogue Decas. What's different about the new Hogue Decas compared to the old Hogue Decas? The riffle, another KU 322. Ciaz is checking his knife case. All around budget, still go with the riffle. Man, it's a hard one to beat, ain't it? Haven't bought a knife since April, so I don't know. Well, what'd you get in April? What's the best knife you bought in 2021? I can assure you no one says CJRB. You'd be surprised because, well, I think the Feldspar came out last year, I think. I can't remember. But the Rhea, that's a really good knife. The Rhea and the Feldspar is a really good knife. And they have, the Scoria. I would say that I could honestly say the Scoria has a good chance at Knife of the Year. The Scoria is a really good one. Nimble, tired of the Archbishop 3.0. You're already tired of the Archbishop 3.0? What are you talking about? We Esprit, Hinder, K-Bar, Archbishop, banging it. 3.0. The 80-20s. There we go. Ooh, now we're pulling the big guns out. The Chavez Scapegoat. That's another good one. Oh, that Blade Show exclusive Pena with the brown micarta. Fire. The other day, my friend asked me to pass her lipstick, but I accidentally passed her a glue stick instead. She still wasn't talking to me. I bet she's not. Kubi killed it this year. Yes, they did. CJRB Rhea. Did that come out this year? I don't know. That's what I was asking. I had a Rhea at the beginning of the year. I just can't remember if it was the end of last year or the beginning of this year. I can't remember. But Scoria definitely did. My mind just forgot every knife I've ever owned. Don't you hate when that happens? You get stuck. I am a micarta brass or titanium type person. Still haven't found a gem of a knife. If you like all of that, well, aside from the titanium, you would love the Kizer Deviant, micarta and copper. It's not brass, but micarta and copper M390. Such a good knife. 80-20.5, most hype of the year. But you got to remember, though, the 80-20 came out this year, too. So the big dog wins it on that one. You can't have the 20.5 outbeat the 80-20. The Varga VBR, never got to try that one. Of all the knives everybody named, that's the one I haven't tried. The Nimble, but the year is not over, and the Thick Boy ships Monday. I tried the Thick Boy. Both are really good knives. And if somebody said that I like the Thick Boy more than the Nimble, I couldn't argue with them. For sure. But I personally like the Nimble a little bit more. By a little bit. The Wee Miscreant 3. Oz Machine Roosevelt. But that didn't come out this year. That came out last year, and he got more machines this year. I think it was last year when it came out. The SIG K320. Really? The SIG K320, huh? Awesome. Awesome. The Penguin was a 2020 model. The frame lock, on the other hand, right. That's true. The Curix, that's a good one. The Curix definitely, it is right there. Like if I was going to put a top 10 in, the Curix would definitely be in the top 10, hands down. Kubi Carve is my favorite all-around knife I picked up this year. It's barely ahead of the Riffle. Ooh. Yeah, Kubi came out swinging for sure. I have 3 Kubis on the list that it's tough to pick which one I like better. Like real tough. Okay, try it this way. Archbishop 3.0 tied with the EMP EDC Nimble. Okay. Well, now I feel a little bit better about my purchase. Spanky got everyone likes the same thing. I really dig both 20 and 20.5. It's hard not to like the 20 because it's so innovative and strong. Like, the 80/20 is so damn tough. I mean, how can you? The lockup is so strong. I mean, this thing is a fucking vault. Like, I want to pry tank doors with this thing right now. Like, I just want to stab it into something and just fucking pry it, just to do it, just to see how much it could take. I want to stab it into a tree and stand on the spine of it, just to take a picture, just for a picture. The Malaya was definitely one of the better small knives. I would say between the Malaya and the Lieb for the small knives. Maybe one more too. The Scoria looks nice. The Scoria is awesome. I love the Scoria. I got 2 of them. CGRB, like I said, Scoria for me personally. Now there's some really good artisans, but as for their budget brand, their CGRBs, to me, the Scoria takes the cake. Take the cake. Haven't bought a knife since I stabbed myself. Well, maybe you need to stab yourself again so you'll go back and start buying some more knives. Sorry, knife. Just got it this year. The Miguran knives. Curix #1. Towser #2. And the Wee Sakshi #3. Man, I thought I bought a Wee Sakshi. That's the knife I thought I bought was the Wee Sakshi. And I didn't. I should have a Wee Sakshi here right now. But I guess I didn't buy it. But I agree on that Curix, man. That's a tough one to beat. It is. Like, anybody who says the Wee Curix got knife of the year, I can't argue with them. I really can't. It's a damn good knife. The Kizer Tower for budget knife of the year, I couldn't argue with that either. The budget knife of the year catalog, like if we just put the top 20, let alone the top 10, there's a long list. But the top 10, the Towser's definitely in there. Guardian Tactical 035, the OTF scene. There you go. I don't have any OTFs on my list personally. The Liangma Field Duty, I don't think it came out. Did it? Wait. The Field Duty came out in 2021? Did it? I thought it was 2020. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Somebody answer that. Does anybody know when the Liangma Field Duty came out exactly? Because I thought that was last year. Because I worked on one at the beginning of the year, an all titanium one, but I can't remember. Yes, the 380 is a damn good work knife. Where is it? I got one here somewhere. Ooh, the 380. This is a damn good work knife. The Tucson TS 380. This is if you want a hard hitting knife, if you want a tough knife, a knife you could stab into things and you could do some light duty prying, damn good knife. And well, mine's in 14C28N, so it's a tough steel. This is a good knife, a really good knife. And the ergos, it's so comfortable in the hand. The action's really good. I wish the detent was a little bit stronger, but it's not bad at all. Very reliable, and you can always reverse flick it. And it'll work for lefties too, because it's got the covering of the carbon fiber. Awesome knife. That's definitely a good one. Archbishop 3.0 tied with the Nimble. Did I suddenly come back up? Cold Steel 4 Max Scout. That doesn't count. They made that that's an old knife. We need all 2021 knives. MBK killed it this year with their multiple models. I didn't get to try any of the MBK. Oh, wait, no, I did. I got the Sprocket. But even though, let me just say this really quick. The Sprocket is a damn good knife. Damn good knife, okay? Amazing knife. And maybe I did try one or two of their other knives, but this has one of the best detents I felt on a knife. Yes, it probably is the best detent I felt on a knife this year. This thing has recoil. Watch my hand when I flick it. I mean, it has recoil. And I'm only just barely pulling down the flipper tab. I'm trying to fail it right now. And it still has recoil. But this thing is ugly as shit. I mean, the action is so good. The action makes you love it. But I don't like the ergos. The ergos, it goes too narrow for me. I don't like it when they go from thicker to thinner. So I just don't, I feel like I don't have a grip on the knife. And the recurved clip point blade, I don't really like. I like I hate everything on this knife but the action. The action is so good. Now, I know a lot of people didn't get one of these, but this is a really good knife. This thing, almost took my finger off just now. Oh, that thing is so smooth. And we got the front flipper. Works really good. This is a really, really, really good one. But not a lot of people got them. M390 titanium, reversible pocket clip. Very nice early detent, multiple deployments. Stupid good. The Tau. But a lot of people weren't able to get them. I don't know if they're going to make more of them or not. If they do, I might get one because it's that good. Not a knife, but Mazwan kill it. Mazwan does kill it. Oh shit! I almost pulled this thing out. But I'll be honest, and this is okay. So I really like Mazwan's designs, and I have one right now that my favorite Tucson of the year, possibly. It's hard to say because that 380 is really good, and the 223 I think came out last year, so I can't say the 223. But that's Jelly Jerry, anyways. Mazwan did a really good job, but he has some models that are so good, and I think a couple of his models this year, and I have two new ones coming from him that possibly could take the cake, but I don't think it'll be here before the end of 2021, even though they are 2021 knives. So we'll see how fast they get here. I don't think they're going to be here till like the middle of January, but anyways, I think he shit the bed on a couple of his models. I think there were a couple of his models that maybe he just designed too fast or Tucson didn't do a good job on them. I think there's a couple of them that could have been better. I really do. I think Tucson does the knives exactly as designed. Like, oh, the 301. Yes, the 301 is a damn good one. Yes. You can't deny the 301 for sure. Can't deny that one. But I think that sometimes designers will make a knife and a lot of companies would refine this little area. They'd say, hey, this little area, it's not going to work good on this knife. We'll just tune it up a little bit. And then they'll send it out. Tucson will say, that's how they designed it. And they'll just run with it. Okay, that's how they made it, right? That's how they designed this knife. Even though it doesn't work, it sucks, it's this, it's that, run with it. And I don't like that. Neves, regarding the Tau, I think Kunwu has a Kickstarter going on right now for the Tau and a new Axis lock type knife. Really? I did not know that. I'm going to have to check that out. An Axis lock knife? Really? Yes, it is the Tau. It is the Kunwu here. It's written right here. The Kunwu Tau Fighter. Really good knife. And I don't really got the time for Kickstarters right now. And Indian is solid. I forgot that I own that. I sent it to Jared the next day I received it. Yes, he does own one of those. The Indian. Solid knife. Very solid detent. Big knife, too. Great ergos. Very slim. It is a little sharp in this area, but it's a great knife. I'm trying to get past that detent. I bought 3 of the 313s 2 months ago for a great price. Sold them in 3 days. Finally somebody says it. Cue ball with the TRM Shadow. I'm surprised it took so long for anybody to mention the Shadow. What's your opinion on good value Spanish Joker knives? I don't know about them. Spanish Joker knives? Spanish Joker knives. Spanish Joker knives. Spanish Joker knives. Spanish Joker knives. Looking them up. Fixed blades? I don't know anything about them. Are they all fixed blades? Here, I'll show the live. Oh, shit. Can't show the live stream. Dominic, thank you, man. Dude, thank you so much. Man, you're awesome, man. Thank you. Holy shit. That's Dominic. Dominic with another 20 bones. Thank you, man. Holy cow, Dominic. Dude, you're awesome, man. That's amazing. With the 40 bones. That's crazy, man. You're awesome, man. Holy shit. I appreciate it, man. Holy cow. What's a TRM Shadow? Can't see any drops since the first quarter. I know. That's the problem. I know. They're hard to get, but they did come out. And yes, they're hard to get. But the TRM Shadows just, they went quick, and they're being done by a small company. They're trying to keep up with their other knives, and they'll have some more coming soon, guys. Be patient. I know I was lucky enough to snag one, but it's a great knife. It's an incredible knife. Very solid. That's the one access lock I have that doesn't have lock or blade rock. You can get the rubber rings to go around them. I know. TRMs are hard to get. That's why it's scary to even mention TRMs. You mention TRMs, you get 150 comments. Yeah, I wish I could get one. And it's like, damn it, I wish you could too. Yeah, I seen the Spanish Jokers. Are they all fixed blades? Is that what they are? They do fixed blades? Because I seen a bunch of different sizes. I looked, I just didn't have it hooked up. Otherwise, I would have showed everybody. Yes, I'm still on for about 5 more minutes. Got the rubber rings too. All right. I don't really mind them too much. They don't really bother me, but I could see why they would. My thumbs are really tough, I guess. Asher Knives Nomad Full Tie M390 will be up for sale next weekend. Keep your eyes out for the new Asher Nomad Full Tie and M390. Yeah, but not. Did he have the shadow? I don't know if he had the shadow, but yeah, you're right. The effect did happen, but well warranted. Those are all great EDC knives. Even Cedric and Ada, a lot of people. I mean, it's a damn good knife. Illinois boy, love my Adam as well. Just can't justify 20 CV USA made Axis style lock for 280. Ritter Hogue does it for 160, but Hogue has a big company. You're talking about a small USA company. So big difference. They're doing them in smaller batches. Their heat treats are really, really good, especially now. Like I'm very impressed with their heat treat. So yeah, I mean, smaller batch companies are going to charge more. It takes them longer. They do more fine tuning by hand. They don't have the sources to buy so much inventory and everything else, so they have to spend more. But yeah, I get it. But I'll tell you what, man. Maybe Hogue, I don't know. That geometry on that shadow is amazing. Amazing. It's like the best version of the Benchmade Griptilian you could get. Gamer, ouch, that sucks. Are the thumb studs removable? If so, maybe you can find different ones that'll fit. They're not that bad. They're not that bad. They're not like textured. They have like a ring around them. But yeah, they could be a little better, but they're not that bad. And you can put the rubber rings around them and make them a lot more comfortable. But I've never seen anybody change the thumb studs on those personally. But I could see people wanting to. Anybody gonna try and grab one of those Quivists P variants tomorrow? I forget what it even is now. I knew what you were talking about yesterday, but now I can't even think of it. So many knives are dropping right now. He made the Slish Bowie double the price. Yeah, that happens. I mean, it does happen. Slish Bowie's a great knife, though. I love my Slish Bowie. I love it. You could say it's not worth $400. I don't give a shit. I love that knife. It's just such a good knife. But yeah, I see everybody is man, there's still 132 people in here. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate everybody hanging out. And remember, if there's any ever topics you guys want to talk about in the lives, you guys can always message me beforehand and leave me good topics, and I will bring them up and talk about them in very good detail during the lives. And anybody who ever wants to come in and have discord on subjects or discourse on subjects that that maybe they can't talk to other knife people about, or sharpeners or anything like that, I'm always happy to talk about everything. Thank you, Chicago 23. I appreciate everybody coming in here and hanging out. I see everybody's taking off now that they see I'm shutting down. They'd shit if I did a giveaway right now, though, because they'd be left out. I love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you to all the moderators. Thank you to all my Patreon members. Yes, you still have the chance to win the custom knife. I'm getting the lock carbidized, and then we're going to give it away with another knife. So we're going to have 2 giveaways. We're going to make it a nice big one because, I'm late on this one, but that's okay. It's going to work out. Thank you to everybody who hangs out with me in these lives. Thank you to everybody who adds to the conversation and hits the damn like button. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't hit it already. And don't forget to subscribe to all the channels I ask you guys to subscribe to. And hey, Kyle Wallace with the last minute donation. Thank you for all the donations. You guys are amazing, man. I can't tell you guys how much it really benefits this channel to get donations during the lives because, fucking shit's expensive, man. And you guys are amazing. Thank you, Kyle Wallace. I appreciate the donation. Thank you. And thank you to everybody who has been so amazing to me and this channel and everybody else in the community because, it spreads. The love does spread around. Everybody gives love to everybody. And I appreciate you guys. When people ask questions in my comments, you guys take the time to answer those comments, sometimes even before I can even get to them. And it does help me out big time because a lot of times I'm answering hundreds of comments a day and sometimes I don't get to it right away. And I know these people are sometimes looking for the answer pretty quickly and you guys get to them very fast. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love you guys. We is in the house. We Knife Company. Thank you for joining us. We're taking off. I love you guys. Peace. Can't believe We Knife Company came in here. Shout out to We Knife Company. You guys are awesome, man. Make incredible knives, and we love you guys. Peace.